And when God wants to remove someone from your life, they will be removed from your life. It got to a point where I just didn't want any more surface level friendships. I don't even know if epiphany is the word. Let me Google it right quick before I use the wrong word and y'all watch my video like, girl. Hi. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Veronica, and today we're going to get into a casual talk episode 2. And this segment on my channel is basically where I go off on rants and tangents about experiences that I am currently going through or that I have been through, and this is with intention to start conversation and in hopes to help someone who is currently going through a similar situation or has been through a similar situation. So let's just get right into it. So initially I wasn't going to do a casual talk today. I had another video planned out, but I don't know if it's because Mercury is in retrograde that nothing is going right. And when I say nothing, like I could not talk in the last video that I was doing, and I don't know if it's because like I just have a lot on my mind or what, but I mean it kind of makes sense. And I decided to just do a casual talk because I can just ramble. So with everything going on these past few days, I have been in a space of deep reflection and analysis paralysis, where I've just been sitting and ruminating on, for some reason, past relationships, platonic and romantic, and how they have affected me over these past few years. And so in the last year or so, I had two people that I was really close to kind of be taken out of my life abruptly. And for some reason, this time when I was thinking about the situations, I had a feeling of, I was feeling irritable and I was feeling angry. And mind you, I had already processed through these situations, so I don't even know why they were popping back up. But when I processed through those situations, it was more so sadness and self-blame. When those two situations kind of happened, I was constantly blaming myself, trying to figure out if I did or said something wrong, or if I, did or said something a different way, these two people would still be in my life. And I was just ruminating again on the situations, and this time, like I said, I was angry and irritable, and I didn't know why. I didn't know what was making me that way, and I didn't know why I was still, I guess, being emotionally affected by these two situations. And after reflecting on those, I kind of went back to my childhood, and I realized that I wasn't angry at the people. I was more so angry at like why it happened. And I think reflecting back on my childhood kind of helped me come to that conclusion, because when I was a kid, I constantly moved around a lot. And I don't know at what point did it get to this, but at one point I just stopped getting really attached to like friendships and things like that. Like most of my friendships were very surface level, because I didn't know at what point I was going to have to switch schools or switch neighborhoods again, and that was going to cause me to have to make new friends and detach from old friends and things like that. So that part of my childhood, the first few times of like constantly moving and switching schools and switching neighborhoods, was kind of painful. And I feel like, I don't know how, but as a kid I was just like, all right, like if I don't get emotionally attached to these spaces or emotionally attached to these people, I won't have to hurt every single time that I have to move. And when I got older and got more in control of my stability and everything was in my control, I kind of was just like, all right, like if I want to, it got to a point where I just didn't want any more surface level friendships or surface level any type of relationship. I wanted to have those connections as a human being. Like that's natural to want to kind of connect with people, and like, and me, like I'm not a person that likes surface level anything. So being, as a kid, as a teenager, growing up and trying not to attach myself to these environments and to these people, most likely took a toll on me. And so as I got older, I was just like, all right, like if I want people to see the real me, if I want to, you know, have these healthy connections and relationships, I need to open up again. And so that was rough, trying to learn how to, I guess, dive deeper into my friendships and relationships, because at that point it's just like, what are these people going to think of me if I tell them my secrets and, you know, how I feel about certain things and how I think and all of these things. And I just had to accept that the right people will come into my life, those who, you know, are meant to be in my life, and those who don't agree with my values, my mindset and everything like that, they don't have to be in my life. And as I got older, I had to accept that, like, you can't please everyone, not everybody is meant to be in your life. And I knew this at a young age, that not everybody is meant to be in your life. So I was trying to figure out why I was so mad that these two people in particular, because they were probably the two people that I felt closest to, why I was so angry at those situations ending. And then it turned into me diving into my attachment style and abandonment issues, and I figured out that my attachment style sort of changed as I got older, because when I was younger, it was more so that I would leave situations before I get left so that I didn't get hurt. And now that I'm older, I was trying to cling on to relationships and friendships that basically served their course. Like, they came into my life, those people came into my life, did what needed to be done, and that was that. And the time was up. And I just felt like a kid again. Like, I felt like losing those two people abruptly, because those two situations, like, everything happened randomly, especially the first one. Like, having those two people just like ripped from me kind of made me feel like a kid again. Like, I had no control over anything, and it just made me, now that when I was thinking about it now, it made me frustrated, because I was just like, why? Like, I'm doing everything that I thought that I needed to do. You know, I'm opening up, I'm being myself, I'm diving deeper into my platonic relationships and romantic relationships. Why is everything still being ripped from under me? Like, why is this still happening? And I was just going through this spiral. And I feel like this time I actually had, like, I don't even know if epiphany is the word. Let me Google it right quick before I use the wrong word and y'all watching my video like, girl, you're using that in the wrong context. I know it's not revelation, unless those two are synonymous. I don't know. Yeah, an epiphany. So it was there. It was clicking. But yeah, so I guess I had this sort of epiphany that even though I knew this, that people come into your life for a reason, and some people are there for a short amount of time, a long amount of time, or even a lifetime, and you just never know when that person's time is going to be up. And even though I knew this, for some reason I hadn't accepted it. Like, you know how you can know something but you don't really accept it, or you probably don't even like really think about it like that. Like, I know, like, not everybody is meant to be in your life. Everybody has their own journey and their own path and all of that. And then I kind of had to remove myself from my own emotions and look at it being in their shoes. Like, they're an individual as well. They have their own journey and their own path that they have to be on. And, you know, maybe you're not meant to be there on their journey either. And everything just started, I don't know, clicking, I guess. And I was just going through this, I don't even know what it was. I was just going through the motions of processing everything. After I came to that conclusion, this sense of peace like swept over me. And this just didn't happen overnight. Like I said, like, removal of these people happened over the span of like over a year at this point. And now I'm finally at peace with those two situations. And it wasn't that I was angry at those two people or the situations. Like, I kind of had accepted that those two people that I was like really connected to, they kind of had ran their course. And of course I was sad, but for some reason I had to circle back around to those situations again and process through it again. And it kind of opened like a, made me see it from like an even broader picture, that made me realize like it's not just you in this world, is, you know. And I understand like now today is like, oh, the whole main character energy thing, and of course like you have to, you know, make sure that you are living your life how you want it to, and, you know, going based off of that. But also sometimes it's important to put yourself in other people's shoes and in other people's, you know, life journeys, because sometimes you're the villain, sometimes you're the angel that comes into somebody's life, and it's just like you don't really know, because everybody is on their own journey and their own path. And just like how, you know, some people are meant to go with you, sometimes you're not meant to go with people either. It's not just all about you, and that's okay. And I think the more that I'm learning that that's okay, the more at peace that I come with it, and the more I'm not afraid to open myself up in any relationship, platonic or romantic, because me, I'm the type of person that wants to give my all in my friendships and in my romantic relationships. I don't want to, you know, be fake in them. I want to be my genuine self, who I'm meant to be. And I feel like on this journey of self-discovery, like I mentioned before in my first casual talk, it was kind of hard for me to know who I am, and I'm still learning who I am. And going through these, processing through these situations is kind of helping me figure that out. Like, and it can be even the littlest thing, but that's definitely something that I had to process through. And it also helped me realize that I'm not disposable, because after so long, for so many years, I felt like I was just easily like disposable. Like people came and just used me for what they needed, and once they were done, they just kind of like discarded of me, like no remorse, no nothing, no looking back, nothing. And for the longest time, I just felt like I was being used, and I would get so upset at myself, because I was just like, oh, you didn't set boundaries, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, and all of these things, when in reality all you can really do is be yourself, and the right people will come along. And all of these cliches and all of that stuff are, you probably heard it all the time before, but for some reason I just decided to come on the camera and tell y'all again. Like, those are just a few things that I noticed. But yeah, so after processing through, you know, the loss of that and my childhood and all of that, I kind of accepted that although these processes are painful, I feel like I went through these things to kind of help me dive deeper into myself and get past all of these blockages that are within me. Because like I said, for so long I felt disposable, and I felt, you know, like I wasn't valuable enough. And that's not the case. That's not the truth. It's more so that you're on a different time, and that person's on a different time, and you're on two different paths. And it's just like, you can't go both ways. You have to go one way or the other. And when God wants to remove someone from your life, they will be removed from your life. That is definitely one thing that I've learned. They will be removed from your life. And as painful as it might be, as, you know, as sad as you might be, it's all for better reason. Like, it's all for something way bigger that you don't even see yet. And I feel like that is definitely, I'm talking to myself as I'm making this video too, because this is what casual talks are. Like, I literally have these conversations with myself, like in my room or with my sister, and have these, you know, come to these conclusions about things. And although this isn't definite, this isn't the law, this is how everything goes at this moment, at this point in time, this is what I believe at this point. And I've decided to continue to be myself, give my best in my relationships. And when it gets to that point where it's no longer meant to be, I just have to go with that. And I'm not saying don't try. try to make things work. But if you are trying your best and they're trying their best to make things work and it's still not panning out to what it needs to be to where you both are fulfilled, then at one point you have to let it go. But yeah, I'm just gonna end the casual talk here. I feel like I've rambled on long enough. I don't even know how many minutes I've been talking, but I feel like I got most of it out. So if this is something that you have experienced or that you're experiencing, make sure to leave a comment below and I would love to talk to you all. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell if this is the kind of content that you are interested in, because I will definitely be uploading more. And I also want to thank you for